Welcome to Homeschool Helps with Amanda. I'm Amanda Wares, Homeschool Helps Director with NCHE. We are still at the lovely Ridgecrest for the National Homeschool Leaders Conference, and I am concluding our series on misinformation today. And we are talking about misinformation. When are you a homeschool? When do you need to open a homeschool? So there's a lot of confusion out there. I think I heard somebody call it the Wild West of homeschool right now. It's really kind of murky. Are you homeschooling if your child is in a university model school? Are you homeschooling if your child is enrolled in a private online school or a public online school? Or if you pull your child out of a public school, but they're under the age of 7, do you need to open a homeschool? That's what we're answering today. So first off, let's clear up a few really confusing things. And the first way to know if you should open a homeschool or not is your child enrolled somewhere else? Are you paying tuition? Are they on the roll? Is that school receiving funding for that student? If that's the case, they are not a homeschool student. For example, many of the university model schools are private schools themselves, and you enroll your child in that school. Usually you pay tuition to that school. They determine the scope and sequence, they determine the curriculum, and if they go all the way to high school and your child graduated, they would get the diploma from that school. Therefore, you do not open a homeschool in that situation. If you enroll your child in a virtual public school, K-12, Connections Academy, all of that, if they're enrolled in the North Carolina virtual public school and it's free, they're getting funding from the state for that, then your child is a public school student, not a homeschool student. And you do not, in that situation, open a homeschool. Now, and this is where it gets confusing and why there's misinformation out there. If you enroll your child in a virtual private school, a private online academy, Penn Foster, Liberty University Academy, BJU Academy, Abeka Academy, any of those, any private online academy, even though you enroll them, you pay tuition, and sometimes those online schools would issue a diploma. The state of North Carolina at this time does not recognize private online schools because they do not have a physical office, they do not have a premises in the state of North Carolina. Therefore, legally, they are not recognized as an entity in North Carolina. So they're just a curriculum provider in the eyes of the state. Therefore, in that situation, you would open a homeschool. I know, it's confusing, but that's the deal. Now, last but not least, if your child is under the age of 7, we've talked about compulsory attendance in other segments. Compulsory attendance in North Carolina starts at age 7. If you have a 5 or a 6-year-old and they're enrolled in public school and you're pulling them out to homeschool, you do not open a homeschool. No, you do not. You wait until they are the compulsory attendance age. According to the law, a 5 or a 6-year-old is not required to be in school anywhere. And I had a phone call earlier this week, and in this case, it wasn't the parent that didn't understand the law, it was the principal of the school. And the principal of the school was trying to tell this parent that they had to have an open homeschool to pull out this barely 6-year-old. That is not what our law says. So again, if you're pulling a 5 or 6-year-old out of school to homeschool, you do not, in that situation, open a homeschool. Not yet. All right, I hope that this series has been helpful to you. There really is a lot of misinformation out there, and I hope this has provided some clarity and helped clear up some of that misinformation. Starting next week, we will move on to some other great helps topics. So if you have anything that you would like help on, you would like me to address in this segment, please send it to me. My email address, that's the easiest way to reach me, is helps, HELPS, @nche.com. I really hope this was helpful today.